Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about deficiency symptoms of essential element. In the yesterday's class, we have discussed about essential elements. Out of 30 elements, 17 elements are essential element, and these elements are divided into two categories. First one is macro elements, and second one is micro elements. What are macro elements? The elements which are required more than or higher than 10 millimolar per kg dry weight is called essential elements, macro elements. And when it comes to micro elements, these elements are required less than 10 millimolar per kg dry weight. So what are macro elements? CHON, SPK, calcium, 2 plus and magnesium. Okay, so these are the 4, 7, 9, total 9 elements. These are macro elements, that means which are required higher than 10 millimolar per kg dry matter of the plant. So now we will discuss deficiency symptom of these elements. If any one of these elements are deficient in the soil, so how plant reacted to this deficiency, and what are the symptoms it shows when these elements are deficient in the soil. Let's discuss one element by another element. So first one is, we are now going to discuss CHON, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. These are the basic, these elements, of course these are micro elements, but these are also called structural elements or framework elements or basic elements. Why? Because these elements are involved in the structure of the organism. Okay, they are, if you see any macromolecule or any part of the plant, these elements are involved. Why? Because these elements are involved in the construction of the macromolecules. Macromolecules are very important for the construction of the body of the plant. So these elements are present everywhere. They do generally there won't be any deficiency of these elements. Why? Because these elements are here CHO, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. In this hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, they are in the form of gas molecules. So we are not going to discuss about these elements, but the next very important elements which are required for which are required in higher quantity is nitrogen elements, NPK, sodium, potassium, phosphorus. So these elements are highly required for the plant growth and development. So that's why these elements, these inorganic elements, we supply in the form of fertilizers, chemical fertilizers. You might have seen somewhere in the fertilizer shop they are selling NPK 20-20-20, something like that. Okay. So here nitrogen, first we are going to discuss about nitrogen. Nitrogen is very essential element for the plant body. Okay. Nitrogen is absorbed in the form of either nitrate, NO3 form, or NH3. NH3 plus is ammonia, and then NO3 is a nitrate. So here NO3 minus. So here nitrogen is absorbed in the form of nitrate. It is not nitrite, nitrate, and it is ammonia. So nitrogen is absorbed by the roots of the plant in the form of nitrate or ammonia, either positive ion or negative ion. This is the one element which is absorbed in the both form, positive or negative form. And this is, nitrogen is a mobile element. Mobile element means, so here when the older parts of the plant they are undergoing senescence, are going to die, they give their elements, their inorganic elements to younger parts before dying. So that is movement. Before dying, the elements which are present in the older parts move to the younger ones. So this is called mobility. So here nitrogen is a mobile element. So the symptoms first appear in the older pods or older leaves. So that's why in most of the plants the older leaves shows yellow color. Okay. And nitrogen is present in large macromolecules like proteins. We know that protein is a polymer of amino acid. If you see the structure of the amino acid, nitrogen is present in the, and nitrogen is essential for the construction of the amino acid. So nitrogen is very essential for the synthesis of protein. And similarly, nucleic acid. We know very well nucleic acids are polymer of nitrogen bases. There are 4 nitrogen bases, and these nitrogen bases are also formed by the nitrogen atom. And if you see the chlorophyll structure also, in chlorophyll nitrogen is present. And there are so many macromolecules, like there are so many compounds in the plant body which are required for the construction of these compounds require nitrogen atom. So here, if you see also, there are many enzymes like catalytic enzyme, okay, and there are some proteins, catalytic proteins, structural proteins, carrier proteins. All these proteins they require nitrogen for their synthesis. And when there is a deficiency of the nitrogen atom in the soil, what are the symptoms the plant produces? First, in the absence of nitrogen, plant growth is retarded. Retarded means there is no proper plant growth when nitrogen is absent in the soil. But when partial nitrogen is available in the soil, what are the symptoms it produces? So, when partial nitrogen is available in the soil, plant leaves appear in yellow color. Plants leaves appear in yellow color. Or else we can say that plant leaves turn into yellow color. That is called chlorosis. The green leaves turning into yellow leaves is called chlorosis. This symptom is called chlorosis. Understood? When partial nitrogen is available in the soil, chlorosis occurs. In maize plant, the chlorosis starts from the tip of the leaf to the base of the leaf. Suppose just imagine this is the leaf of the maize. So now the yellowing starts from the edge of the leaf. Slowly it crawls toward the petule or leaf base. Okay. And in tomato and maize, stem, leaf base and petule, sometimes entire leaf turn into red color due to the accumulation of anthocyanin pigment. In the nitrogen deficiency, the stem of the tomato or maize or leaf base, sometimes whole leaf turn into red color due to the accumulation of anthocyanin pigment. So this, after accumulation of this anthocyanin pigment, it imparts red color to the leaf. So first, in the absence of nitrogen, plant growth is retarded. When partial nitrogen is available in the soil, that leads to the chlorosis, yellowing of leaves. And in maize, the yellowing starts from the tip of the leaf to the base. And in tomato and maize, the nitrogen deficiency leads to the accumulation of anthocyanin pigment, which gives red color to the leaves. Hope you understood. So this is all about nitrogen. But when nitrogen is more present in the soil, sometimes we suppose if we supply more quantity of nitrogen, then it was in that condition also plant produces some symptoms. Okay. So here nitrogen, when it is available in more quantity, it produces toxic symptoms. Okay. So here in high nitrogen quantity, the leaves becomes dark green color, and leaves also become very fragile. Okay, they become dark green and fragile. So these are the symptoms of nitrogen. And the second element which is very essential is phosphorus. Phosphorus is absorbed mainly in the form of phosphate ion, PO4 minus. And we know that phosphorus is very important element which is involved in many phosphorylation reactions in photosynthesis and respiration and transformation. So here in all these pathways there are so many phosphorylation reactions. In all those phosphorylation reaction, phosphorus is involved. Phosphorus is very important. Without phosphorus, all these phosphorylation reactions will be ceased or terminated, so that finally photosynthesis, respiration, transformation reaction they do not occur in the plant. So total metabolism of the plant will be collapsed. And phosphorus is also present in the backbone of the nucleic acid. We know very well the backbone of the DNA or RNA is made up of sugar and phosphate, right? Here phosphate is involved in the backbone of the nucleic acid. For the synthesis of the nucleic acid, phosphorus is very important. Understood? And this phosphorus is also act as a cofactor in the some enzymes like glycophosphatase. Okay? And majorly phosphorus is also involved in the synthesis of energy rich molecules like NAD, NADP plus ADP and ATP. Here NAD plus means nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, NADP plus nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, ADP means adenosine triphosphate. For all these molecules synthesis, phosphorus is very important. So after nitrogen, phosphorus is very important element. And next one is potassium. Potassium is required for the opening and closing of stomata. And it is also required for the acid-base balance in the plant cells. So the osmotic concentration of the cell is mainly regulated by the concentration of the potassium. So remaining elements we will discuss in the next class. Hope you understood. Thank you.